The slasher subgenre was the most popular horror subgenre of the 1980s. Popularized in the 70s with John Carpenter's Halloween and cemented in 1980 with the release and success of Friday the 13th, the 80s became synonymous with slasher flicks. In the spirit of Halloween, I thought it would be fun to share my top 5 favorite slasher flicks from the 80s. Number 5, Slaughter High, released in 1986. 8 friends are invited to their old high school for their 10-year reunion, where a fellow former student, disfigured from a prank gone wrong, is out to seek revenge. Slaughter High is a low-budget slasher that features original inventive kills, a memorable killer, and a great score by Harry Manfredini. The flick has a real mean streak to it, and is a harsh yet cheesy slasher. Number 4, Maniac, released in 1980. What's interesting about Maniac is that it's a slasher from the killer's perspective. Joe Spinell is great as Frank Zito, a serial killer who murders women and takes their scalps as trophies. It's a brutal, depressing, and dirty slasher that features amazing special effects by gore legend Tom Savini and an outstanding performance from Joe Spinell. It's a sleazy and raw slasher that delivers some nasty moments. Number 3, A Nightmare on Elm Street, released in 1984. A supernatural slasher that follows a group of teens being killed off in their dreams by a razor-gloved killer. Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street helped create what is termed the rubber reality horror subgenre, and also introduced the world to horror villain Freddy Krueger. At the time, most slasher villains were mute mouth breathers, but Freddy was a taunting and wisecracking killer. He would become a pop icon for the decade, and would lose some of his fright as the series progressed. But Freddy is one scary slasher in the original. Featuring a scary premise, a memorable theme song, some inventive kills, and a strong, resourceful heroine, A Nightmare on Elm Street is a true horror classic. Number 2, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, released in 1988. Halloween 4 finds Michael Myers coming out of his coma to return to Haddonfield and stalk his niece on Halloween night. Part 4 is my favorite Halloween sequel and features great characters, solid horror action, and manages to capture some of the spirit of the original. Donald Pleasance and Daniel Harris both turn in amazing performances, and Halloween 4 is a great film to watch in October. It's one of the best slashers to come out in the late 80s and has one of the best endings of all time. Number 1, Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter, released in 1984. I love the Friday the 13th franchise, and the 4th entry is my favorite in the series, as well as my favorite slasher of all time. Jason Voorhees escapes the morgue and returns to the area of Camp Crystal Lake to dispatch some partying teens and battle a young Corey Feldman. It features brutal and impressive kills, a solid cast of characters that are actually likable, and Ted White's Jason is awesome. Tom Savini's special effects are top-notch, and the film is a fast and furious slasher that cuts along with savage efficiency. The film features suspense, gory death scenes, and an intense climax. Throw in an iconic poster and Crispin Glover's dance moves, and you got yourself a great slasher.
Hey, how come you turned that off?